Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with a super simple card for you, which I think you're going to really love. This one is called the double box fold card. I think it's called it quite a few different names, but I'm going with this one. So what it is a pop-up card that folds flat for posting. Plenty of room to write your message, and then it pops up with lots of dimension and stands up too. So I've made mine using, let me just get it, Graphic 45's The Beach is Calling. I'm not going to go through this paper bag because you all probably have seen it before, but if you haven't, it's lovely beachy themed, oops, that's got a lot of glare, beachy themes on there of going to the beach, beach huts, sandy shells, swimming costumes, surfboards, all that kind of thing. And it's very rustic, and it's in a limited colour palette of these lovely blues and golden beiges. So that is what I've used. It uses very little paper because I've cut some of the images out. Here you've got the beach huts. I've got a couple of borders that I've used here. I've layered up one of the background pieces, the little stamps that I've cut out, and a sentiment border. And on the back I have added a piece of white card and another sentiment border there. You could make this, and I'm going to make quite a few of these in different collections because I really love these. They're so easy to make. Now it's up to you, you can add paper to these sections, but I didn't feel that I needed to, so I think it's just nice as it is. So I'll show you how to make it. So as usual, I've wrote the instructions down, so I'll pop them on the screen and then you can take a little screenshot or pause and write them down, and I'll crack on and tell you what we need. So for the actual card base, you need a piece of card. I've gone with using coloured card because it saved me matting and layering, and if you want to make a really easy posting card, then this is the one for you. I have made this in a size that fits the US letter as well as fitting our UK one too. We've got a little bit more room at the top of ours because ours is near enough 6 inches. So if you're making it in the UK, you can have things hanging over the edge here. If you're making it in the US, you need to keep it as close to this edge as possible so it fits nice and neatly in your envelope. So sorry, there you go. Right, so for the card base, you need a piece of coloured card, or whatever card you're going to use, at 10 1/4 by 4 1/4 inches. And for this one, I'm going to use this pale blue colour. And to score it, 5 1/2, 6 3/4, 8 3/4, and 10 on the long side. So let's do that. So at 5 1/2, and then at 6 3/4, at 8 3/4, and at 10. And that little piece makes your little flap. Pop that one aside. And then for the front panel, which is to make this part of the box, you need a piece which is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4, which is my little piece here. I have scored this, and you need to score it 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. These are my measurements that I've altered slightly from some that I've seen on the internet because they suited me. I made this bit a little bit bigger. So that is what we've got. It is super simple. So popping that aside for the time being, all you need to do now is score on your fold lines. So this little panel is really easy. Just fold both of those in the same direction. And exactly the same with this one. All in the same direction. So all are mountain folds. Just making sure that's level. I do actually like this paper on the linen-y side, so I may be awkward and just switch mine round that way. Okay, so there we go. And this makes for this box piece here. Now before you start sticking it together, you need to add your papers in. So that's it for our scoring. So for the papers, for this back piece here, I've got a paper panel that is 4 by 5¼ inches. I've got this one, pretty one from the papers with all the beachy images on, starfish, umbrellas, beach huts. There's plenty of beach huts in this collection, so it's nice to make use of those. And I'm just going to pop that with some liquid glue on there. When you're going to make this card and decide which your back panel is, it doesn't matter what's kind of down here at the bottom. You want your images to sort of be nice here at the top, because these ones will be covered up by the rest of the box. Once you've done that, you then need to go to this little panel on the end of the strip, and on the back of it you want to pop some tape. So let's do that. Just put my tape on there. Take that sticky off. I've used red line tape for this because it's going to bend quite a bit, but also on that spare bit there I'm just going to add a little bit of glue for a bit of wiggle room. Right, then all you need to do is, you've got this panel here, this one and this one, which is 4 bendy panels. You just need to bend in the top 2. So there's your first one with the glue on, and there's your second one. Bend that in and then fold your card on the other 2. So you'll have 2 on this side and 2 bent in. So literally your halfway mark, and then it'll be folded in half. And you'll know then that you've got your panels in the right position. Give them time to stick down. And then when you unfold that, you'll have your perfect box part there, which pops up. So now you need to add a piece to this front. So I've got my front bottom panel 4 by 1 3/4, and I've just used this nice shell scallopy. You could actually use that side, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my beach huts. So I don't want too much distraction, so I'm going to use that. So let's pop a bit of glue on there, and you can fold it flat and make it easy to line everything up. Put that one on, get it in the middle, get it level. There we go. Okay, and now that one is on. Next, you want to bring in this front panel. So you've bent it twice, and you've got this exactly the same as what you've done with this first piece. You've got a little 1/2 inch panel here. So let's again add some tape to that one. Popping the tape on there. And peeling that one off. Pop a bit of glue on here just to give us a little bit of wiggle. Now you've got your first panel, and then you've got this second panel, and then fold it in half. So you've got 2 at the back. And this top piece, top line here, you want to line up with the top line of your card, not over it, and you want to get it in the middle, or near enough. So by eye, line that up and stick that down. And then once that is stuck down, that will be in the right position, so that when you put it in your envelope, it won't come over. And then you want to stick this bottom piece down. So this now needs to go up like this, and on this piece up to this line here is where you can put glue, so about the bottom inch. So I'm just going to glue that with glue on this one. So on that bottom inch, I'm going to put myself some glue. Fold your card as if it was going in the envelope, and stick that down. Sorry, I've got ink on my fingers there. There we go, stick that up, and now it's all in exactly the right position for your box. So now it's a case of decorating. So all you want to do, let's set those aside, is, oh, we got everything now, we need this front panel. Now the front image panel here is 3 3/4 by 3 1/4 which is this. And I've cut one of the toppers. It did have a little piece at the bottom here. It didn't fit for my image, so I just popped this on. And that's what I'm going to have there as my front image. So I'm going to layer them up just with a bit of glue. Now you could pop this on foam squares, but I'm going to layer up my next bit, so I'm just going to have this one flat. That gives me a bit more of a border and makes that image pop out a bit more and a bit more interest with the little blue dots behind. And then I'm going to stick that onto there. Let's pop that one aside. Let's put that one on. Get that one up at the top. Oops, wiggle that one in position. Let's get it up a bit more. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Come on now. There we go, that's better. Right, stick it down, that's easier, isn't it? Do it on the flat. Okay, so I need some beach therapy. That's on now, that's looking good. So now I have got some little elements to add to my card. I've got this cut from the little seashell border, cut from one of the papers. That's to 4 inches. These little borders are cut to 4 inches, so I'm going to stick that one on. Just like so. And then from the long 12-inch border, I trimmed along the edge of all the beach huts. So I'm going to add those on with some foam tape. I'm going to add them here. I know that covers up my deck chair, but that's what I want there, like that. So let's pop some of these foam pads on. I just want to keep them quite just along the bottom, really. Let's pop those like that. That will give me that height. And I'm going to pop those on there. Get those backs off. And I'm going to tuck that just lining up on the top of that seashell border just to make the seam. There we go. You can see my umbrella now behind and the waves. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy. Is it straight? Yeah. Okay. My little border here is a little bit longer because it looked better coming out after I'd cut that. So you can layer up how you like. So that's what I've got on there. And then from this top edge, because I feel like it needs something to stop your eye, I've got this one here, which is Sleep, Eat, Beach, Repeat. And because it's dark, see, without that, your eye just goes off there. But with that, it brings it back in and brings you back into the design. So let's just stick some glue on that. This one can be flat too. Pop that one there. Another one that is 4 inches. There we go. And all I've got then is some little stamps. Now I'm not sure whether I'm going to add these on or cover up that. Yeah, I am going to cover up that because I like that going off the edge there. So I'm going to have one that I'm going to lie flat, which is this one here with my seagulls, just with a little bit of a tilt there. And then I'm going to have this one that I'm just going to pop on a bit of foam tape, and I'm going to have that one bobbing over the, oops, daisy, bobbing over the edge here for some interest. Yeah, that's okay, on that corner. And then to finish off, I'm going to turn it over, and I've got a piece. This is my bringing back in the instructions. I've got the back of the card. I've got a white piece which is 4 by 5 1/4 inches, and I've cut a little sentiment which is salt in the air, sand in my hair. So I'm going to stick that onto there because I like the back to have a little bit of something on it. And I'm going to just pop that just a little bit off the bottom, stick that down. Add a bit of glue, and then I'm going to tuck this in. Now again, see how you can see my stamp sticking up there. If you're in the UK, you haven't got a problem because you've got plenty of room at the top of your envelope. But if you're in the US and you're using US letter size envelopes, not letter size, but is it A2 envelopes, then you just want to be mindful of that and pop your stamps a bit lower down. And then, just to finish off, I've just got a couple of little blue gems, which I'm just going to add here because I just want that little bit of beachy sparkle. I'll add 3 on. 3 is always good. So there's my 3 if they are near enough straight. And there we go. We've got our card. Stands up nicely. And we've got the back like so. Bring the other one in wherever I've put it. So you can see in the 2 different colours. They both work really well. Nice and simple. And I had some blue envelopes, so these work really well. As you can see, we've got a bit more room there, but they still are great for posting whatever US, UK, whatever part of the world you're from. They work brilliantly, and I'm sure you can find an envelope or make an envelope, or they just fit in a standard size A2 envelope. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and a like, and I really look forward to seeing you again on my channel, so please do subscribe if you're enjoying the videos, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.